Rob Riggle here. Welcome to Riggle's Picks.
I'm Darren Leader.
Thank you. With me as always, my counterpart, Darren Leader. And of course, we got Gary and Claire back in the engineer booth.
Also with us, Darren Leader.
Thank you.
This is not going to be a good one for me.
You guys, friends, family, listeners, and people who are just out to get us. Big day today, and I'm very happy, very pleased to have with us Lennon Parham.
Yes.
She's down. I knew she'd be down.
She self-air horned.
Yep. She took that on her own. She took that initiative on her own.
That's a move. That's a power move.
It's so good.
I know.
It's so.
That's
good.
a yes and.
Yes, it is a yes and.
That's a back to our days in the dirty basement.
Which by the way, let's talk. That's where it started. Let's start at the beginning.
How dirty was the basement?
It was disgusting.
So dirty that blood might drip on your forehead from the Gristides butcher shop above you.
For real?
And
For
also,
real.
do you remember there was a pipe that was right over the stage, and it leaked, right?
Yeah.
What kind of pipe?
Well, I think it was
Who
a shit
knows?
pipe. I think it was
okay.
I think it was a poo-poo and pee-pee shit pipe. And here's the thing. They put a trash bag over the leakage, and they duct taped the ends, right?
Yeah.
Well, eventually the bag would swell and swell and swell, and everybody would look up at it, and we'd be like, "Should we do the show?"
Wait,
and we're like,
just wait.
I guess. I think we're safe. And no one wanted to deal with it because it was awful.
Did you guys all perform under it?
Well, you had to.
You had to.
And
There
so
was no-
it was.
Yeah.
It was a crapshoot, wasn't it? Like if it was going to burst.
Literally.
Yeah.
I feel like it should have gone off during Kilgore or one of those shows where the stage would get covered with like chocolate sauce. That way, no one would have known the difference.
No one would have known. Do you remember? So we used to do a show every Halloween, and I believe it was Matt Walsh's brainchild. It was his baby, wasn't it?
That feels right.
I think he was the director and kind of his thing.
He was, yeah.
And it was a Halloween show, and it was X-rated, almost NC-17 rated, and but it was gory. It was called Kilgore, and it was the annual Halloween show, and it was just awful. But as far as blood and violence but dirty and funny at the same time, and it had a musical flair to it. I think there were some songs that were sung.
Yeah.
And it had like a murderer's row of great comedic actors and improv comedians. I mean, it really was kind of loaded with a really fun people.
Yeah.
But we used Hershey syrup with red food, and it was
so
copious
disgusting.
amounts. Like we had to dress the whole stage in a tarp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like splash zone front row, right?
Yeah.
People would wear, because it happened every year, so people would be repeat. They knew they were coming back. They wanted to get covered in corn syrup or whatever.
Like who was that? Like Gallagher. Remember Gallagher?
Yes.
Remember his fans used to come with tarps.
Oh, yeah,
over
yeah.
them?
Yeah.
It's kind of what happened, I think.
Yeah.
But the theater would smell like Hershey syrup. You couldn't get rid of it for months after that show.
Yeah, 'cause
all the way to
like,
Christmas, it smelled like Hershey syrup.
velvet seats.
Yeah.
And carpet. No.
Grody.
But at the same time, it was a dirty little black box theater underneath the Gristides grocery store on 26th and 8th Avenue. But I will say this, as dingy as it was, I have some of my best memories
Best time of my fucking life.
Yeah. It was truly a magical place, didn't you think?
Yeah, I grieved it. Like when I moved to LA,
Yeah.
I think I grieved that time because it was so, I don't know, it was just like the combo of people and the audiences, like just standing room only, just the vibe. And the only intent that you would go in with was to make your friends laugh, which is just so pure and feels like, you don't have to put, I don't know. It just, there was nothing like it.
And it was a special time for the theater because the UCB and they had their own show on Comedy Central. It was one of those things like the right time and the right place. It was New York City. It was the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was just the right time. Everybody was like this wonderful wave of talent I felt was coming
all the
in.
like most talented weirdos of the whole city descended upon it was just like this ragtag group of dreamers who just like, we didn't know what the F we were doing, but we were just having the time of our lives.
Yes. We all wanted to be actors and comedians.
Yeah.
And when we would write sketches and we would do improv jams and we would do cage matches and we would do all these shows for free, by the way. I was never paid a dime in the 7 years that I was a student or teaching or anything there. I never was paid a dime. And it would actually cost me money to get to the shows and back.
Yeah.
But I felt like at the same time, I felt like I got a master's degree in sketch comedy and improv.
You did your like 10,000 hours or whatever, right? Yeah,
so,
it was.
So you're from Georgia, Lennon?
Yeah, originally.
You're from Kansas City.
Originally.
Yeah.
And so you guys obviously ended up at the same place at the same time in New York.
Yeah.
When you were growing up, were you class clowny? Were you just the funniest in your group? Were you not the funniest in your group? And when, I know it's a two-part question. This is for both of you.
This is layered.
I'm deep.
Yeah.
When was it that you had the fire to go, you know what? I want to take this outside my friend group and my family, and I feel like I have this calling to go. I need to go try and do this. What age was that? And so the first part first. Were you the funny person in your group?
I don't think, like, I wasn't like the class clown. I was like too good of a student. I didn't want to get in trouble.
Right.
But if I had like a teacher that gave me some leeway, yes, I was like in the middle of class. I wanted the attention, but I also was worried about popularity, puberty, all that. Yeah. But I was on the drum line. I was a real weirdo.
You were on the drum line?
Yes, I marched snare on the drum line.
Oh, Darren's a drummer.
Can you still do rudiments?
Yes, triple Radamacue. Come on.
Yeah, come on, flam Radamacue.
Flam taps.
Let's go. Swiss
go.
triplets. What's up?
I still have my drum pad upstairs and my marching sticks, and then I have some like Vic Firth like just snare sticks.
Amazing.
I have like an old school rudiment. I studied it with a teacher, like private lessons from 6th grade. I really loved it. My dad was a drummer in like a band in the 60s. He paid his way through college. And so I loved it. But I was also doing like drama. And that's when I senior year, we did a comedy sports competition. And I had like the blackout line. And we won the whole thing. And I was like, what is this? I just was like, I finally felt seen. It was just so amazing. And then, of course, I went to college for theater. I didn't pursue it like directly, but I went to college with Jack McBrayer.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
So he went to Second City and Improv Olympic. And so I watched that trajectory. And also he was literally the funniest person I had ever met in my whole life. And we just had we would just do bits in like the costume shop all through college. And then I lived in Chicago one summer and I saw him doing long form with Georgia Pacific, which was a team at the IO in Chicago, which is a legendary improv theater. And he was like, Lennon, I think you should do this. I think you'd be good at this. And I was like, okay. And then finally I did move to New York to be an actor. Yeah. And started taking class at Second City.
Was there someone in your high school group of friends that was super duper funny that you think could have been successful?
I mean, a ton of them, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, it's just really a crapshoot, like who has the family support system to like allow them to leave the nest, who needs to stay to take care of a parent, who got in a bad relationship, who's an addict. Like they were all like so many of them. Some, I have like a really close friend who stayed for a long time in Atlanta and like did the whole Atlanta improv, Dad's Garage, all that, and was like one of the funniest people in Atlanta. So like, yeah.
How about
you? I hear you. My best friend, Jeff Robbins. You know Jeff.
Oh yeah. He's funny.
Funniest guy I've ever met. And I have no doubt if he had wanted it, he would have been a huge comedic star.
He's real whip smart.
Yeah, he's really
What
funny.
does he do? What's his career?
He lives in Kansas City and is a very successful salesman because he's got a great personality.
Yeah, he's a very, very likable dude.
Yeah. He could have been. He could
I think
a
I love
comedian
him.
if he wanted to. Okay, all right. I mean, just maybe talk to him offline. Tell him how you feel.
You think I should?
But no, I'm with you on that too. I was never a class clown. I always thought those guys were disruptive. I never disrupted. I like to do what I thought was clever. It wasn't that clever, but it made me laugh. Like on the high school radio station and stuff like that.
In the proper channels of performance.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Then it was fun.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a good student, but I was too. I had too many. I thought I had good manners, and you just didn't disrupt classes.
I think that's also a product of the time that we grew up. We had a healthy fear of adults and authority. Where like now, they give 0 Fs.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I got a question for you though, Lennon. When you moved to New York, did you move by yourself or did you move with a roommate? Did you when did you? Because I remember when I moved to New York, I moved solo.
Yeah.
And when you land in that city by yourself, and you got a little tiny U-Haul van, and all your life's in it, and you got a little studio apartment, and you move in that first night, it's a lonely feeling. Yeah.
I was lucky. I had my best friend from like 6th grade, like a creative partner of mine had gotten a real job at Viacom and was living in Brooklyn and had a 2-bedroom that had just one of the bedrooms just emptied. So I moved in with her.
Perfect.
And we finished that lease out and then we moved to a new place together. But before I moved to New York, I did 2 years of Teach for America.
Oh, wow.
And I taught high school French in the Mississippi Delta. And it was the hardest thing I had ever done in my entire life. And there is nothing more terrifying than standing in front of a group of high school students.
Yeah.
Who were just like, what?
Yeah. Dazzle me.
Yeah. So when I moved to New York after doing that for 2 years, I kind of hadn't, I don't want to say no fear, but some of that had been worn off of me. And so I just would walk into a Shakespeare audition like it was just like any other day. Like I was so happy to be there, like I should be there, and I had every right to be there. And what did I have to fear? There was no
standing
fear.
in front of high school students, as I imagine you were probably pretty young, probably 23, 24 at the time.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, so that's daunting.
They were my age. You know what I mean? Like now people we hang out with they were 18, 17, and I was 23.
Yeah.
And I
that's
just
in the wheelhouse. That's
put on a long skirt and hoped for the best. You know what I mean? It was great. It was fun though.
Yeah, but I think that would build confidence. No doubt about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you get to New York, you find the UCB eventually, right?
Yeah.
Was it long before you found them?
It wasn't too long because the Second City program that I did, there were some UCB kids in that. So Leslie Mizell and Molly Prather, and they were on a Herald team at the time with Eli Newell and some other folks, Doug Moe. So I was introduced to UCB that way. But my first experience of UCB was I did a 3-on-3 improv tournament that was judged by Matt Walsh, Ian Roberts, and Sean Conroy.
Oh my gosh.
And I had never improvised long form. I'd only ever done comedy sports. It was terrifying.
It is terrifying.
But after that, I was like, okay, I see this place. And so that was when it was on 22nd Street, in the old porno theater. Yeah. And then from there, I started signing up for classes, and I had Ari Voukidis.
Yeah.
It was his first class teaching, and Brian Husky subbed for him. Okay. And then my second level was Michael Delaney.
Yeah.
And that's teacher. Really when I was performer. Oh, I got to do this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those are great. Those are all great people that you listed.
Yeah.
And I remember it was the old Harmony Theater. It was the old Harmony Theater on 22nd Street, which was a burlesque. It was a strip joint. And it was a dirty strip joint. Ugh.
Yeah.
Because I remember we went in and tore down the stage.
Oh,
the
God.
students did.
What'd you find under it?
Again, the UCB got a real good deal on us. Manual labor, a lot of shows.
Free flyer. I mean, we would go flyer for the marketing, promo.
All the time.
Just like hand out flyers.
Yeah.
Did you find anything interesting under the stage?
No, thank God.
Oh my God, so many dildos. I mean, there are dildos now. It's like dildos in the backstage because people put them in their sketches.
We did. I remember Respecto Montalban, we found a bucket of dildos down in the basement. It was a bucket.
That's awesome.
Okay. And we did some show where we had a halftime and we said, let's do I think we said, let's do a dildo circus. We did
dildo sweepstakes.
So we brought out a bucket of dildos and then we took them and we did a circus with them, like trapeze acts and flips, cool. Like a flea circus.
Yes,
but it was a dildo circus. And I think we were really proud of ourselves, if I recall.
Of course you were. Of course you were. That sounds hilarious.
Yeah, I think it actually played. I think we got some laughs. I think it went well.
Oh my God, Respecto was a powerhouse. All guys, right?
No, we had Danielle and we had Danielle Schneider,
right.
and we had Donna
Jackie Clark.
Fineglass. Well, she was Donna Furman now. But Donna Fineglass and Jackie Clark.
Right.
And we had Jackie. Yeah. So all powerhouses too. I mean, those ladies,
incredible,
were so fun, so amazing. That's the thing though. I loved every team. I loved every team had something special.
Their little personality,
exactly.
And their strength, yeah. Like Monkey Dick.
Monkey Dick. What was the other one? There was Mother. Wasn't Mother one?
Yeah, Mother. That was Mantzoukas and Jessica St. Clair and
that's right.
Scott Armstrong and all those Falcon, Jesse Falcon.
All these names, people have gone on to great, amazing careers.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you have done so well in television. How are things like ever since? I don't know the pandemic and the strike. I feel like everything's changed. The whole paradigm of television has changed.
It has, yeah.
And I'm confused.
I think we all are.
I feel like an old man walking around a store going, did they change the aisles? What's going on?
What are the kids like these days?
Yeah. And so what is your experience since the strike is over now and because you have had so many shows on network television that were all great, but what are you seeing out there? Because I always like to ask my peers, what are you seeing out there?
I do not know. I mean, I was lucky in that I was on this show Bless This Mess with Keckner and Dax.
Wasn't it set on a farm? It was set on a farm. Yeah, I love
Nebraska.
That show.
So it was so fun. And we shot at like Santa Clarita and we were outdoors all day, but it was like a casualty of the pandemic. It got canceled. I mean, it had great ratings. Like it was doing really well. It was just, I think it was like one of the first things where the studios were just like, we need to save money. So we know this is good and going well, but we just don't want to pay for it.
That's the thing that kills me. That's what I get mad about it, because you work so hard to get a show, to land a show, to get it on air, and then it's a hit on top of it. It's getting great numbers. Yeah. You finally think, thank God, because you can't imagine the Herculean effort it takes to just even get the show on air, let alone have it be successful and received well. Yeah. And then to have something total X factor come in out of nowhere and derail you. It just really sucks.
Or something that, I mean, Jessica and I used to say, like, you're never going to expect what it is that takes you down or changes. Like when we were coming up, we literally, we didn't know any of the rules and we were just figuring it out on the fly. And they would be like, okay, we want to pick the show up, but we're going to only give you a $500,000 budget. And just shoot 7 minutes of it. And we were like, no, we're used to doing this for free in a basement. We'll shoot an entire pilot with non-union workers. Okay. Yeah. So, and then for it to get on air and they were like, okay, yeah, but we're going to keep you at this like lower budget. The rules kept changing and shifting. And you're like, well, if we can just get to this point, And then with Playing House, it was the same thing. It was like, the show's going well. It's airing. we're going to air it at 10:30 on Fridays, and it's not going to get that good of numbers, but we're going to pay for it with Comcast commercials. You know what I mean? Like they just kept rewriting. We're going to have a window of airing, you know.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. They keep moving the goalposts. They keep moving. And then the obstacles. I'm with you on that. Like you overcome one hurdle only to find a new hurdle. It's almost like they're testing to see how much can this take before it breaks.
Yeah. Well, so for the show that I did during the pandemic, which was Minx, so that aired on HBO Max, and it was literally like on everybody's best list. Yeah. Like best, it was a great show. Montage. Like it was like very buzzy. And we got picked up for another season, and we were filming season 2. We were in the last week of filming season 2, and HBO canceled us. And the only reason that they told us was because they had to report it on their tax report that was going to come out, because they wanted to mark us as a loss. So on Wednesday, it was going to come out. So they called the showrunner and they were like, hey, this is over. And we were like, we've already filmed it. Like, in what world would you not air this thing that's already done and paid for?
Right.
And Lionsgate was like, well, I guess we just finish it because it literally has already been paid for.
Yeah.
But they had to, Zaslav was coming in, or what's his name? And then, all this stuff. Anyway, so we moved to Stars, but, it just was a whole different ball game. And
sure. And the audience, it's hard for the audience to chase the show, because if it's not where they're used to finding it,
then and it's a specific demographic, I think, on Stars, and they were trying to like build like a catalog of sexy shows or something. But it's like the same person that watches Outlander is not the same person that watches Empire, is not the same person that watches Minx,
Right. Totally.
Like, so, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I think it's just like the Wild West, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And I'm just holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
It seems fucking disheartening, like to do what you do, and then with the industry you're in, not have everybody go, yeah, we're not going to be doing too much creating right now because it costs money. We're trying to save money. It just seems like there's nothing being made.
It's a very tricky time. And by the way, agents and managers always come to you and go, it's a very tricky time in the business right now. That's why there's nothing going on. And you're like, really? Because I see things. I see new show offerings. I see new things,
Yeah.
So, I know things are being made, but it is true. I will say they're not crying, the sky's not falling with them. Like, it is actually, something's changed. The things have slowed down.
Yeah.
And generally what I've come to find out through context clues is, after a strike, it takes about 18 months to reset. Yeah. And which the good news is 18 months will be this April.
Okay.
So, April of 25 or whatever. So, if it stays true to that format, or that general, what's happened in the past, if that holds true to now, you might see some more productions hopefully opening up.
Do you feel hopeful, or do you feel defeated?
Oh, no, always hopeful. There's no other way. I don't know about you, Lennon. What do you think?
I mean, there's no other option at this point. Like, I was like, 6 months ago, I was like, I don't know, maybe you see those like billboards for Azusa Pacific University, and I was like, maybe
Phoenix University,
like a really good nurse. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I should become a midwife. I've always had a dream.
I don't think there's a single actor out there who doesn't think about,
Yeah. What else?
Should I go back? Should I go back and get that MBA?
It's crazy, right?
I mean, I guess I could.
I'll flip houses.
I'm very seriously. I'm contemplating going back and running the family farm. There's all kinds of things that are on the table, because it does. There's nothing greater. All I want to do in my life is do comedic acting and be or any kind of acting. I just want to be an actor. I just love it. Yeah. So I'll take whatever work I can get. But it is stressful.
It is, because also you're probably carrying a lot of people on this career, right? Yeah. You have a family, you have a house, you have
responsibilities.
You have responsibilities, and it's like, okay. And it used to be, it didn't feel like it was like a sure thing. At a certain point you were going to get to, it was like a sure thing. You're going to work forever. And now I have, now I'm like, okay, well, I guess I better put another iron in the fire because that one that I thought was a sure thing isn't a sure thing anymore.
Right. I think that's the thing too. Like being if you choose a life in the arts, you got to have 10 irons in the fire.
Yeah.
And you're stoking them all. You're working them all, waiting for one of them to heat up. Yeah. You don't know which one it's going to be. Is it going to be the me writing a book? Is it going to be me trying to do a new television show? Is it reality TV? Is it scripted TV? Hey, I got a movie idea. Hey, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll get back into stand-up. Blah, blah, blah. And you're just doing this until one of them heats up. Mm-hmm. And then you grab it and you go and you try to make the best of it.
Yep.
Life in the arts is tricky, man. I don't have to tell you. You're a musician,
Yeah. My situation is a little bit different. Our stuff went down when Napster came out. And everybody started getting music for free and sharing, and all of a sudden,
LimeWire.
You LimeWire, Napster. You're not buying records now. Artists are, before you used to make a record and you'd sell it. You'd go on tour to promote your record so people could buy your record. Yeah. Now you make a record as an excuse to go tour so you can make money selling T-shirts and tickets.
Wow,
that's it. Like
unless the paradigm flipped on its head.
Oh, fully. Unless you're Taylor Swift or or someone of that status, you're not going to sell records. You will not sell enough records to make a difference financially for you, and if you have a family, no way. So you got to figure out. And the
amount of downloads that you would need on Spotify to hit any kind of marker to make money off of that, right?
It is fractions of cents for a download, like 0.0003.
Yeah.
For every download, and you're like, it sucks. And in the film and television industry, with AI coming in and creating helping create content, and things leaking, and it's just people can copy stuff and watch it for free, and the whole business model is out the window, and it's all up to you and me and my business to try to figure out and navigate how to go forward. And while enjoying it and trying to make a living out of it, and I'm not saying go get greedy and let's make $1 billion. No, just let's to be able to do what you love to do and provide a life for you and your family.
Yeah,
that's the trick, right?
Yeah.
That was always the dream, to be able to do what I love and make enough money doing that to live comfortably. I don't need to be like a gajillionaire or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then they throw in the element too. Of cancel culture too. So now there's a minefield of, God, I don't want to say anything wrong.
Yep. Yeah.
God forbid I said something wrong, or I attempted a joke that didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Or
Well, that's why I love guys like Bill Burr who are out there just saying it. I love that.
They're pushing back, I guess, against that.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It doesn't even feel like they're pushing back. It feels like they're just doing what they want to do, and not it, because it doesn't feel like he's going, for full reaction. But it just seems genuine, and it seems unafraid, and I think I like that.
Well,
we used to do our stuff in a basement, and 40 people saw it.
Yeah.
And it never left that space, and so you could try and you could fail. And you could mess up, and you could, do a bad joke that would bomb and be inappropriate or whatever. Yeah. And you'd be like, oh, I didn't like the way that felt. Won't do that again. But it wasn't on film for everyone, for millions of people to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't reposted.
Right.
It was much more of a comedy laboratory. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's probably why comedy was so good in the 80s, because you got to work stuff out.
Yeah. Well, the beautiful thing about comedy is, whether it's improv or stand-up, the audience will let you know.
Yeah.
The audience will let you know,
Yeah, we're into this, we're not into this. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're listening, if you're a performer or comedian, whatever, you're going to be like, okay, duly noted.
Yeah,
check. And then it self-corrects. You don't need to go out there and take people's careers away. You just let it self-correct. Because if it's not received well, ain't nobody buying a ticket.
It makes so much sense when you say it like that. Honestly.
Yeah. So what are you working on these days? now that we talked about the bleakness of, do you have anything you're cooking up, by the way?
Jessica St. Clair and we wrote a script.
Oh, good. I love when you guys write. You guys are so good together. So funny.
Thank you. So we sold a like a feature. It's an action comedy, we're doing it with Amy Poehler's company, and so it's great. And
that's awesome.
So we got notes. We're doing a rewrite right now. So hopefully it'll be out in the world. I don't know. You know how long these things take.
Yeah.
I mean, years.
Forever. Years.
But yeah, and then I also, I just directed that show Somebody Somewhere, and also wrote 2 episodes of it. And it aired in October. It's on HBO. It has Jeff Hiller in it. Have you seen it?
Yes,
oh my God.
Of course.
It's so good. It's such a tender, like, wonderful and funny show, and set in Manhattan, Kansas.
Oh yes, that's the thing I kind of remembered about it. Was it set in Manhattan, Kansas?
We don't shoot it in Manhattan, but they go there for like a week and do like B-roll and stuff.
Yeah.
And we shoot in like sort of agriculture, like extended Chicago. So like drive an hour west of Chicago and you hit like flatland, you know?
Yeah. It looks the same.
Yeah. And it feels the same. And I think Bridget is so, you know, she threads in like all this Kansas stuff. So she's wearing a Varsity Donuts shirt. We're wearing K-State clothing, you know, one guy works at K-State and he's just totally in purple head to toe all the time.
Yeah.
So,
which is very accurate. So good job there. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I shot 2 seasons of that. The 3rd season just aired in October, and was on a lot of it was actually like the #1 TV show on like Variety's, you know, top 10 shows or whatever. It was on a couple top 10 lists. And so I'm just trying to get more jobs like that, but it feels like one of those ones that was a once in a decade kind of experience, you know? Yeah. So,
well, congratulations on that. That's what you want. You want to have those opportunities where you feel like, what you're doing feels good and it's enjoyable and it's resonating and you're proud of it. Those are
it checks all the boxes for me. Like I said, like directing specifically, I feel like uses all the parts of my buffalo. Like you know, my problem solving, like my mom skills, you know, just making everybody feel like they're doing a great job.
Were you intimidated by the technical aspects of directing? Because when I've directed, and I haven't done it very much, I've done very limited. I was always better at the working with the actors, punching up the comedy, you know. But you know, as far as like cross shooting and doing things and, you know, solving those problems, I got a little bit better, but I wasn't very good at it at first. And so, are you intimidated by any of the aspects of directing?
Well, I thought I was, but then I started doing it and I was like, oh, right. Because on Playing House, I mean, and Best Friends Forever, we had like to learn how to be executive producers, like in a crash course. And if we got to the edit and we didn't have what we needed, we didn't have the right coverage, we didn't have this close up, we didn't have a button that worked, like we were fucked. So like I started really paying attention to all those technical aspects and asking lots of questions, because some directors are better than others. Some know what they're doing. Some aren't going to, you know, set it up the way you think they're going to set it up. And so in order to cover yourself and have the show that you want to have, you have to be paying attention to that. And
attention to detail. Totally.
Yeah. And I think season 2, our first assistant director, Bob, was like, next season you need to direct. And I was like, oh, I can't, like, I'm pregnant. I'm going to have a newborn. Like, this sounds crazy. And he was like, you're already doing it. Get paid for it and get in the union so that you can do this more because you're good at it. And I was like, okay, Bob. And so I did, we put our names in the ring with the people that make the decisions, and everybody said, yeah, I think this would be a good idea. And because we had a crew that we'd been working with for 3 seasons and a DP that was super supportive and a first AD that could help me make sure that I had the right shot list and all that, it went really, really well. And the episode I directed was a Hoosiers inspired episode. That's one of my favorite films.
I love it.
R.I.P. Gene Hackman.
Yes.
And so I it was just really fun. And, just like, I was like, I want to do this scene, like the scene with Jimmy and Gene, where they're like where he's shooting like free throw after free throw in the dirt field. And it's just going in.
Yeah. That was one take, by the way.
Yeah. That guy, crazy? I looked that guy up afterwards. I was like, what happened to this guy? But anyway, yeah. And then you just have to do the job of like convincing other people that you know what you're doing and that you've done it enough that they want to hire you.
Yeah.
And then my next directing job was actually on Bless This Mess, because Lindsay Sloan, who played Bird Bones in Playing House.
Love Lindsay.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
She, they had a director drop out, and Lindsay is really good friends with Lake Bell, who was the EP and star of that show. And she was like, Lennon directs, and she's actually very good. And Lake was like, oh, really? And then they did I had been doing my due diligence, like meeting with executives and all that stuff. And so they offered me an episode, and then that went really well. Again, a crew that I could trust already knew that I was funny, trusted me as a comedian. I was in some of it. So that was, and I had already done that on Playing House. So that felt comfortable as well. A DP that was really willing to work with me and help me and the other thing is, like, everybody knows better than you what they're doing anyway. Mm-hmm. So as long as you can just say, like, hey, this is what I'm picturing. Like, I don't know how to get that. What do you think? And they're usually more than happy.
Sure.
Because it's like what they love. Like the DP is like, if you don't know how to do something, just ask someone.
Yeah. And that's what I found too, is they have the expertise, and they're more than willing to share, especially if you collaborate with them and say, tell me what I'm visioning. I see this. Yeah. I don't know how to do it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
And you'll get there. You'll always get there.
Yeah. And we were also cross shooting, which means you shoot both actors at the same time. So sometimes DPs don't like that because you can't light everybody perfectly and beautifully from both directions at once.
Right.
But if you work with someone
sometimes time is of the essence.
And you also can't replicate an improv. So if you're working with improvisers like we do on Somebody Somewhere Too, you want to get it at the same time. Otherwise, you're going to have to try to repeat something so that you have the coverage of that in the edit. It won't make sense.
Right.
So out of writing, directing, or performing, in order, what's your preference?
Ooh, yeah.
I don't.
What's the most fun?
I mean, performing is the most fun because it's so easy at this point. You just literally show up and all you have to do is have lines memorized. And people think that that's a hard part, but then it's a muscle that gets better and easier as you do it.
Right.
So also if I'm number 6 or 7 on the call sheet, I'm working 2 days a week. I'm driving to Santa Clarita to shoot one scene with Keckner. I'm going to laugh the whole time. I don't have any responsibility. And then I steal a bunch of fruit gummies from the craft service and then I go home. Like, that's it, right?
That's a sweet day. That's a sweet
day.
Yeah.
When you're directing, it's very intense. All the decisions are on your shoulders. You're in charge of an entire crew, making sure you make your day, your budget. The line producer's looking at you like, are we going to get this? Lots of stuff like that. Hold on, I have a child coming in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
By the way, I think it was a fun fact. Your child and I share a birthday.
Which one? April 21st or October 17th?
April 21st.
Aw, that's a good day. Bridget Everett, star of Somebody Somewhere, also April 21st.
Oh, very nice.
Good humans. Born on April 21st. Taurus.
Taurus and Queen Elizabeth was
yes
on that list. So was Andy McDowell. She's still around, and James McAvoy. And
dude, you guys have like a club.
Yeah, I mean it's no big whoop, but
It seems
I'm Pat Sajak and Hillary Clinton. So
what? Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Excuse me.
Sajak and Clinton.
Hold on.
That's right.
Hold on. Jesus.
No. Oh, 25th?
Come on.
December 25th?
Yes.
I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah. I think.
Well, it's the one we're agreeing on.
Okay.
For conversation and calendarial purposes.
All right, I guess you kind of win. You kind of win.
You beat us.
No, it's just I just want to be in the cool kids club.
I mean, it's not really a competition, but I guess Congratulations. That's
Thanks,
awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Very happy about
Way
that.
to go.
Lennon, it is so good to see you. And every now and then, I cross paths with you every now and then, like if we're doing a dinosaur show down at Largo.
Yeah.
But we used to cross paths a lot more when the UCB was out here on the West Coast. Like the pandemic just killed everything. And it breaks my heart. I know they're coming back, or the theaters come back a little bit. I don't know if it's is it at Sunset or is it back on Bronson and Franklin?
It's just Franklin now.
Just Franklin?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I know that at least it's alive again, which is all that matters to me, because I think it's such an incredible place to learn and grow for young
one of my favorite places of all time.
All time. So I used to see a lot more, but I don't get to see so often. So this has been very nice. This has been wonderful.
Well, you guys, where do you live? You live out.
I live way out in the suburbs.
I'm
way out in like.
I'm the
Thousand
other way,
Oaks.
like Pasadena side.
Yes, you went that side. I went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was coming from New York, when you come from New York, you know, I had no idea. I was going on people's recommendations, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were like, I think you get more bang for your buck out that way. And I had a young family at the time, so I was like, I need all the help I can get. So, and I looked at Pasadena because that's a beautiful area too. Beautiful area.
Yeah, it is. We live in Highland Park, which is like sort of the cool, I don't know what it is, but like it's a totally different city after 5 o'clock. It's like all these cool bars and like 20-year-olds out on the street.
Is there a university? Is there a university close by?
Occidental is in, Eagle Rock, which is not far, but there's a couple strips that have like cool comedy clubs and like pop-up bagel spots,
Nice.
Yeah. Vintage stores.
I like that. I like cool hip places.
Vegan breakfast spots.
I like breakfast.
We know.
Me
like
too.
it a lot.
Damn it.
I didn't know. I'm so happy to know.
Thank you. See
how nice?
She gets it.
Yeah, that's why she's a good director.
I know.
She makes sure everybody's included.
I feel
Everybody's
heard. I
taken
feel
care
so
of.
heard. It's amazing. This is great.
Lennon, thank you for joining us.
Oh my
Appreciate
God.
it.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking me.
Yeah, of course. It's so good
wonderful
to
to
see
talk
you.
to you.
You too. Have a great day, guys.
All right,
Thank
you
you.
too. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Lennon Parham.
She just dropped the hammer on you. She's
yeah.
cool. You know what? She's got a nice vibe.
Do you see why she's a good director though? Because she has a calming effect.
Yeah.
And,
totally.
And yet it's still always positive. Always like it's a forward moving positive energy.
It's a warm, enveloping feeling of calmness.
Right.
And now it's gone.
And here, it's more of a icy cold North Sea blowing cold and rough waters of icy cold water hitting the bow of the ship and coming over and cascading horribly cold water on everybody, and then it never stops. It's just a storm.
Like a constant.
Here, that's what I'm saying here.
Just in.
And then over here, kind of the same. But I think Lennon and I have that super calm, easy, nice, gentle breeze in the palm trees vibe.
That's what you think?
Yeah. Pretty sure I'm getting thumbs up from the crew.
Guys?
Yeah, that's a big thumbs up.
My middle finger, actually.
Yeah. Thank you, Claire.
I can't see. There's a reflection.
That's what I thought I saw.
I can't see too well.
So Gary is clearly Team Riggle, and Claire is obviously Team D-Man 1001.
Oh, that's not even a name.
She says D-bag, but I'm sure it's the same.
I'm sure it's the
I'm
same.
considering the source on that. I don't think that's accurate. I think that's going to make you feel better about yourself, Gary. And frankly, it's embarrassing.
Okay. We've learned a lot today. Would you agree?
Yeah, we learned that my face is the front of a boat.
It's not your face.
That's the takeaway.
No.
You said this
vibe.
area.
The vibe. This.
Oh.
The vibage.
Okay.
Is a icy cold storm in the North Atlantic.
I don't think you're totally wrong.
Okay.
Okay?
Look, you got the heavy metal edge. All right. I don't. Don't get me wrong. I've got super karate, high performance karate, and kung fu.
I know.
And the mysterious arts of kung fu.
I wish you would share them with me.
I can't. You know that.
Why?
You know that. It's a secret art.
Well, I want to see you at least do it maybe to somebody in the parking lot. Not me, but I want to see you do. I want to see you use it.
I don't do it.
Do
okay?
you use it?
In self-defense.
Would you ever use it in offense?
No.
Just because?
No. I mean, no. I can't imagine. It always has to be self-defense.
What if you're walking through the mall? Some buddies coming out of,
What if Darren keeps up with his bullshit?
Yeah. How about that?
Wow, you really are Team Riggle. You're really just needling today, Gary.
So if I'm in the mall, I walk by Forever 21.
Wetzel's Pretzels.
I walk by Forever 21.
Okay, which, by the way, is closing down.
That's a crime.
Hello. You walk by Forever 21,
Yeah.
some dude who's with his chick who's shopping there turns and looks at you and goes like this. He gives you a once up and down. He goes, pff.
He gives me a poof.
Yeah, what do? You walk away?
The dude in that scenario is Darren.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Because he executed that pretty well.
What do you do?
Yeah, sure
Check
did.
it out. I'm with my chick. She's in Forever 21. She needs new pants.
Yeah.
She's pants shopping, dude, and I'm hanging it by the front because I'm not comfortable being in Forever 21 because it's nothing interesting. I'd rather people watch. And I look at you, and you're walking through the mall with your corny shoes.
I don't have
And I look at you, and I look at you up and down, and I just go like this. And I kind of laugh.
Like
snicker.
Like unbelievable.
Like what gives you the right to think you could cruise out today?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Well, that is different because that's an attack. So now I feel like justified to use self-defense. So I'd probably say, excuse me, sir, you have something on your shirt. And then I'd give you a secret squeeze that only Kung Fu masters know. And you would probably drop like a sack of potatoes. You'd probably shit yourself and urinate yourself at the same time. Spontaneously vomiting also. So you'd be losing it and snot pouring out of your nose.
It's a lot of fluid.
Everything comes out at once, okay, with this secret technique.
The secret squeeze?
The secret technique. You would fall down, urinate, defecate, snot, and vomit.
Do you stand over me or do you walk away?
I just walk away. I just go back to my car. I might stop at Wetzel's Pretzels if I'm in the mall.
I get that.
And then you're laying there a mound of shit. That's all. You're just a big bag, a burlap sack of snot and vomit, urine and shit. That's who you are.
You've just terrified my girl in Forever 21.
She might be with me at that point. She might come with me and say,
you think so?
Yeah. She'd go, hey, we're in the mall. You want to go see a movie? I'd be like, yeah, why not? I'm not.
What are you going to go see with her?
Something cool.
She loves comedies.
Yeah. Probably a comedy then.
Okay.
I'm pretty flexible.
She likes popcorn with the butter
with
flavor.
The butter, yeah, of course. And if you eat it with Milk Duds, it's even better.
Get the big box so she could bring some home for me.
Duh.
Milk, duh. That's a great scene.
Thanks, man.
I mean, I like it except for the pukey parts. Yeah.
Well, that's why you don't.
I won't.
I don't shoot looks at people that if I think they may have kung fu knowledge.
Well, now knowing what I know about your vast experience in the kung fu arts, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, cool. Then everything's.
We're good, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that old phrase?
Keep your enemies safe.
No. Don't start no shit. There won't be no shit.
That's very, very close to fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I think it's in all in the family. It's
all
in the family. Wow, I feel educated. I feel better. I feel uplifted. I feel like we're smarter and better now.
I feel like Lennon really illuminated the room, and she was very, very pleasant.
That's the thing. She has such an easygoing personality that it's calming.
Yeah.
It's very calming. I felt myself relaxing.
I feel super relaxed.
And now I'm back with you. I feel myself.
It's edgy, right?
My shoulders are in my ears right now.
If you could hear the inside of my body, it sounds like this.
That's what's going on inside you right now?
Yes.
Wow.
But my professional exterior screams, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? Just another day for a major player.
That's what I'm talking about. Making moves, shaking bones. Let's go.
Oh, God.
This is you being professional?
Gary is smoking you
What's
today.
What's going on? Gary, did you wake up and read a motivational book or something today?
Yeah. Because Gary's got you in his crosshairs, man.
Dude, I feel like have you seen that movie with Ice-T where they hunt people?
Yes.
I feel like I'm on the island.
Yep.
And Gary's got a 30-06.
Yep. And he's probably had a couple nips.
No, it's a 50 cal, sir.
Oh, yeah. He's bad news.
Gary's got drunk 50 cal happening.
Yeah. He's off the chain.
Off the chisel?
Off the chisel.
Damn. Today was good.
All right, homie. Always good to see you.
Oh, you know what?
Uh-oh. What?
We got to put on our black flies.
Black flies.
Black flies.
Black flies.
Black flies. Yeah.
Hold on. All right. Now tell me how robust
All right.
these are. And don't play.
Okay.
Don't play.
I won't. I'm going to tell you exactly who you look like. Ready?
Yep.
Let me see. Oh, you look like...
Why'd you laugh?
No, because...
Why'd you laugh?
Because it's a dead-on... You look like... Oh, God, what's his name?
If you say Darren Leader, I'm going to lose.
No, you don't look that cool. It's the Ocean's 11... The old guy in the bed. What's his name? I can't remember who he plays.
No, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Ocean's 11 cast. Gary, quickly, please.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
We'll find out who the guy is in Ocean's 11. But for our listeners, you can go on Black Fly's website, which is flies.com, FLYS.
Yeah.
And you enter the code RIGGLESPICS, RIGGLES PICKS, and you get a discount. And that's how rad 15% off.
Elliot
Gould, you look like Elliot Gould.
His character.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, I got on the 1.25s.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like a friggin' billboard to me.
It will help your life.
I'm telling you.
But also, if you go to their website, the sunglasses they have, they've been around since, we are not paid to say this. They've been around since like the early 90s. Southern California, made here. It's the raddest company, and I wish more people knew about it.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you can get junky old readers and junky old glasses at Costco.
You can get 15 for $4.
They're fine. They're fine. But you buy them, the 6-packs.
Dude.
Right? And then you put them all over the place.
Flimsy, floppy, and crummy.
But if you're going to be on the edge, if you're going to be cutting edge, if you're going to be on the scene, which you and I always are.
Hello.
Or you have any intention of going to the club, right?
Always.
I can't sign the bill at the club unless I got the black flies on. Now, everybody knows that.
You want your money? You get me a pair of black flies.
That's right. And you can read a book and look like a tool, or you can read a book and look like a pro.
Right. Here, watch. This is what a pro looks like.
Okay. Damn, they look good. You look so good right now. I like the pursed lips. Look at that. Look at the pursed lips. Oh, man. See, I believe you're reading a book.
That's what pros do.
And you're getting smarter.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the illusion, because I'm not really reading.
What?
That's the thing.
I totally thought you were reading.
I know.
That's amazing.
If you wear these, people think you're smarter than you are.
Well, I believe that, because I'll tell you what, I'm not kidding. Like, I have these on, and this looks like as clear.
I know.
As clear and huge, like a billboard.
Yeah, it's the best.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Mo, at Black Flies. Flies.com.
And there's different kinds.
You got more.
You stole mine.
No,
I had
didn't.
3. I had 3.
Dude, I can't.
I had 3. These are the 3 I brought in. Now give it back.
I didn't take it.
Give it back.
I didn't take it.
You are a common thief. Everybody saw it, right? We got this on video. We'll track it down. Don't think we can't track it down.
Look, we have recordings.
What about these?
Those are dope. I like those better.
These are better?
Yeah, I like those better.
Yeah, these are pretty. This is pretty much what's up.
I think that's these. Casino flies. These are the casino flies. Anyway, if you want
these are casino flies.
if you want to be cool, if you want to look cool, if you want to, impress somebody of the opposite or same sex, if you want to read, you get black flies.
Don't be a fool.
Right.
All right. Hey, everybody, this has been Riggle's Picks. I'm Rob Riggle.
I'm Darren Leader.
For Gary and Claire, thank you so much for joining us.
It's always fun, and can I just take a moment to say
boy.
That when I was 5.
Oh, for the
Unfortunately, we're out of time.
Oh, that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Fair.